right, everyone, for the November 2025 Stealth Camping Alliance Challenge. The challenge this month is called the Roundabout Challenge. So I am looking at a potential spot today, just scouting it out. It's not an official roundabout here in Connecticut. There's a lot of roundabouts, but none of them are good for camping in. They're all basically small bushes and concrete, so there's not a lot of good spots. So I'm gonna pick a spot, I'm hoping, that's kind of a roundabout on a highway entrance. And so you enter the highway, and the little bit of woods in between the entranceway, the road leading onto the highway, and the highway creates a little roundabout. And so I see one near me that I'm going to check out. And when I get there, I'll show you. There's a parking area nearby, so I'm going to go explore it today and see if it's a potential spot that'll work. Right, I'm getting ready to go over the highway, which is down there. And this little woods off to my right, I'm looking to go in there. It doesn't look like, without the leaves on the trees, it's too secluded. I'm just going to do a drive-by right now. I see from the above there's a little trail going in right there. Over here is a parking area, so I could park over there and then walk into this little area in the middle. I'm thinking if I can get in there somewhere and there's a flat spot, I could either hang a hammock in there or set up my tent so I can see back up to the highway. But somewhere in there, that's where I'm hoping to camp. Right, I'm in the parking lot. And that spot is right across from me there. Came in from the road over that way. Little roundabout in the middle of the parkway and the road coming down. There's a loop going around to the highway, and so let's go see if I can get across without making a big fuss or being a big scene. Gotta be careful here, crossing a busy exit. So I am gonna run across. There's the highway. And it looks like this is being used for some type of construction storage. There's a lot of compost up here. Trees moved out, a little road plowed into the middle of this little island. Some mulch. I could easily set up a tent in here. I could put it right up in the corner there. That wall would block me from the highway, the road up there. Ooh, it's stinky in here. It smells like a dead animal. Not sure I like it. But if I was right here, I am blocked on three sides. The highway's over there. You can see the traffic coming in. So I would be blocked there, blocked all over here. This is perfect. But unfortunately, it stinks. There's definitely a dead animal in here. And it's nasty smelling. So again, that little roadway into the middle of this island is back there. But there's definitely a dead animal in here. Whew. That's enough to make me change my mind on this spot. Boy, this is perfect for getting into it. Stinks over there. Let's look over here and see if there's a smell on this side. Could easily, right in here, set up a tent. Maybe right there. Flatten this dirt out a little bit right in there. That smell is dissipated. Look over on this side. Still getting a whiff of it though. Could go up in there, set up a tent. As far as location, this is great. But there's something rotten in here, and I don't like the smell. I don't think I can stay in here. So we'll try somewhere else. Oh, I really like this spot. Just too stinky. So that spot was a bust. It was a perfect location. Nice roundabout going onto the highway from a side road and major road. But man, there was a smell in there that was pretty nasty. I don't know if it's in the material they're using. They're storing mulch in there, and I'm not sure if it's that mulching or somebody put garbage in there, or if it's a dead animal that was mixed in it, but it smelled in there pretty bad, so I could never stay in there overnight. So back to the drawing board. I'm going to go back to my computer and start scouting out different places. I did notice the other day a roundabout that went into a highway, and I couldn't stay on the actual roundabout, but maybe on that circle between the entrance and the highway, I'd be able to stay in that little circle. So, but I'll go scout on the computer and see if I can go find another spot, and then go out in the car in the next week or so and try to find a spot, and then make plans of what to do. Right, so I decided to try to scope out another spot before I go home. I am on this 4-lane major road, not far from my house. You can see there's some land in the middle here between 2 lanes going north and 2 lanes south. So I am going to turn around here. Don't think I would go up in there, but there's another one farther up. Actually, any of these are kind of roundabouts in here. They're between the 2 sections of the road. There's a little island in the middle surrounded by roads, so that's it's not a roundabout, but I can go around it. I could go up and check out that up there. That would be a good spot, right up in there. And there's another one a little farther up, does the same thing. It's a little island. So I'll show you when I get up. Coming up on the turn, there's this land right up in there. The only thing is there's houses right across the street, right up in there. I don't know where I could park right now to check it out. Could go up in there. But I'm gonna take a walk. I've always been curious about this. Hopefully nobody comes in and kicks me out while I'm parked here. I've always been curious what's up in here. See, there's a road over on that side. There's houses over there. And there's a little plot of land in the middle here. Probably state land in the middle of the road, state road. This would be a good spot, but there's a house right up there. I'm gonna go check out the other side. I've always been curious. I think I've seen tents up here before. What I could do, I'm close enough, I could do a little hike up into here from home. But I'm curious what's up in here. Some old structures up in here. Look at this, there's a little path up the middle, little stone structure, and a path right up to the top. Again, it's not an official roundabout, but it's surrounded by road. Too many houses off to my right. Oh wow, there's an old foundation in here. I've always been curious what's in here. Look at that foundation. I think somebody lived here at one time. Goes all the way through. That's pretty neat. Boy, if I could come in here at night in the dark, this would be a perfect spot. Look at this. Old stone structure. Get down in here. I am protected on all sides. I could set my tent anywhere in here. Set my tent right in here. This may be my spot. Maybe I could hike over, have my wife drop me off, hike in here after dark, and set up my camp. Always wondered what was at the top of this hill. An old little foundation. That is awesome. The camp right there. Like a nice flat spot here somebody cleared out. Good camping spot. Alright, when I get back to my truck, I'll circle it and show you the whole circle around this. Alright, so I want to show you the little roundabout I'm looking at. So here's where I turned in and parked. I went up, hiked up in there. There's the turn. So my spot would be up here in the middle of these roads. Somewhere up in there. There's a structure up there. There's some trails up in that middle area. I see more structures. This is all in the middle. And you got a 4-lane road. State road. I'm going to take a left here and then I'll loop back around that way, and it's part of this little inner property here. Take my left and go back the other way, so it's this little island in the middle here, and I would be camping up on the top of that little section up in there between these two roads. Houses on either side, but it's kind of blocked off. There's the structure I was in right up there. This is a one-way road here, so I can't go through, but it's back there. And that's my little island that I would potentially camp on. So that looks like a possibility. And I'm looking at this section over here. It's a dip, but maybe this would be better. It's more isolated, no houses in the middle, but I can drive around this little section too. There's some water company property across the street. So I may scope out walking in the middle there. That one drops down, it might be more wet. The other one had a nice structure at the top that I could camp in the middle of it. But this section right here, same thing, it's in the middle. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It does drop down, there's a few hills. Again, with the leaves gone, not as isolated. I see some small pine trees. Actually, there's some wetland down there, probably off of the water company. Can loop around up here and go back and check that out. Alright, I'm going back the other way, so it'd be this little island to the left. Somewhere in the middle there. The bottom part here is all water. But as you get up here into the grass area, there might be some areas off in there. Go scout it out. This is water company in here. Go in here, pull out my pass, park in here, and then walk across the street and see how it looks. So I've always been curious as what's on this side. This is the little island in the middle here. I figured I'd explore it, check it out as a potential spot. There's a circle around this little island. road over here, major road over here, 2-lane going north, another 2-lane going south over here. We go up on the hill up there. Same thing, it's an island. This is all wetlands in here, but maybe up on the hill over there I'll find a spot. It's like a pipe or water stream going through the middle of that. This looks pretty nice in here. Hilly. Wet down the bottom, not too bad right here. It's raining today and this is pretty good. Got a hill protecting me from that side of the highway right here. If I can find a flat spot in here. So possibly down in here. That's kind of wetlands down there. Well, this is potential area. I'm temporarily parked in the water company parking area. I have a pass in there across the street. But I saw the water company truck. There's somebody in there and I think he saw me come in. And I hiked across the street. I saw them come up to the gate and they turned around and went back. So I'm trying to stay stealthy in here. Just explore this area in here. Again, there's a nice spot down there. Not completely hidden from the highway back over there or over here. But it might work. Might be a shelf down here where I could stay. There's a stream down here. There's water company ponds up there. And I think there's a pond on the other side of the highway here. So there's a stream here flowing that way. This is a good spot right in here, but I'm right on the highway. See the car going by right there. We'll go up on the other side of this stream. See if I can get across here without getting all wet. Chose a real wet day to scout this out. Maybe right in here behind this big pine tree. There's any dead branches to fall on me up above. Could just go in the middle of them. Right in there. Set up my tent. I like the idea of being behind these hills. On that side there's no trees cover me. Here I got some pine trees pine trees on both sides on top of this little hill. Could set up right in here. Or maybe down here in the hole. This might be a good spot down here. Ooh, I got a prickler in me. Right there. think I'm pretty well hidden from the highway over there. Got a hill here and drop down below it. And it looks dry enough with all the leaves. I think I'm going to try to get through all this fallen trees on that side. There's a little wall right there. Actually, maybe right in here. Right here might be a good spot. Got a little bit of protection. The pine trees over here, the little pines. So that's a potential spot. And maybe even right in here. Got a fallen tree root right there. I could go down there between the two tree roots. Could even climb under that tree. But right in here. Kind of like it right here. Yeah, this might do it. Oh well. I think this is a good spot, so I'll keep this in mind, maybe by this tree right here. Of all the area in here, to me that's the best spot. I'm under that fallen tree. Right over in there, maybe right there.